Good afternoon, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Today's Tech Tuesday consisted of how to use Zoom. 101, basic information, how to schedule a meeting, how to start a meeting, how to share your screen, and how to set up the settings on your Zoom so that everything looks okay and that your green screen doesn't look through you. I decided not to record the actual class and just do a how-to video on the steps to scheduling, running, and doing a Zoom. Let me share my screen with you so I can show you how to do it straight through the Zoom website as well as how to do it through the app. Here's the website. Zoom.us gets you to your Zoom website so that you can create your Zoom. If you click sign in at the top right-hand corner, it allows you to sign into your account. If you don't already have an account with them, you can create a new one using this sign up free button here on the sign in page. Or you can use your username and password that you have set up for your account. And then just click sign in. It's as simple as that. Once you're in, you'll see here, you'll automatically go to your scheduling meetings page. It'll show you here if you do have any meetings already scheduled. But to schedule a new meeting, all you have to do is click this blue button that says schedule meeting. It'll start you up at the top where you can name your meeting. I recommend naming it by your client or consultation so you know exactly what type of meeting it will be. Here, you can also put your description in so that your clients as well as you know what your meeting is going to be about. You can also choose when and at what time these meetings will occur so they're pre-scheduled in the future for you. You can also change your duration on it to an hour, hour and a half. Just FYI, with the free meetings, they do limit you to 40 minutes with more than 3 people. So if you have 3 people, your timer will start when the first person logged in, and then it will notify you when you have 10 minutes remaining. If for some reason your meeting is going to last longer than 40 minutes, all you have to do is let your clients know that they can follow the link that you already sent them and you just restart the meeting. Or you can keep it under 40 minutes, whichever works best for you and your clients. Here, you'll also want to make sure you put your time zone in. This is really important if you have clients that are in a different time zone than you are. For your meeting ID, you can use one of 2 meeting IDs. You can have it generate automatically, which means it gives you a specific meeting ID for each meeting that you're doing, or you can use your personal meeting ID. I highly recommend do the generate automatically and not using your personal meeting ID, because if you use your personal meeting ID and somebody else decides to follow that link, they'll be allowed into a meeting that may not be secure, and you may be allowing your client's information to be shared with somebody they don't want it to be shared with. You can also require a meeting password. If you do this, you need to make sure that they know what the password is so that they can get logged in if for some reason they decide to log in not using the link. You can also unclick that box and not require a meeting password. For your video, I recommend turning both you and your participants' videos on. This allows both you and your participants to be able to see each other, to be able to have your meeting face-to-face, even though you're in 2 different locations. For your audio, I recommend doing both. This potentially allows our clients to be able to call in as well as use their computer or phone to listen to the audio on the meeting if they can't physically be in the same room as their partner, spouse, or anyone else that wants to be a part of the meeting. I also recommend clicking Enable Join Before Host. This allows your clients to join before you if for some reason you're running late, or if they want to jump on earlier than you. I also recommend unclicking the Enable Waiting Room box. Waiting Room is a very high function of Zoom, and unless you know how to use it at a high level, I don't recommend using it because it means you have to then personally allow the person into the room to be able to meet. I would also make sure that the only authenticated users can join is unclicked. If you click that, that means they must have a Zoom account to be able to join your meeting. Remember, we don't have a lot of our clients that have Zoom accounts, so this allows them to join without having an account. They can just follow your link and use Zoom. And then click Save. This will actually bring you to your page that actually has your meeting information. So it has the topic of your meeting, when and at what time. This will also allow you to add it to your calendars, as well as you'll be able to see the meeting ID. This is the number that they can actually use to join the meeting from the app or their phone without actually having to follow the link if they don't want to. If you notice, this number is also the same digits that are at the end of the join URL. Again, if you have a tech-savvy client, they can join the meeting with just that meeting ID. You can also click copy the invitation, and you can copy and paste all of this information onto an email, a text thread, on Facebook, on Messenger, whichever way you want to get this information out to your clients. It also notates that both you and your participants' videos can be on, and they can be on phone or computer audio, and it shows that they are allowed to join before you. Here you can also delete the meeting, save this meeting as a template, edit this meeting, or start this meeting. And if you scroll to the top and click over here on the left-hand side or up here where it says My Meetings, it'll take you back to the meeting dashboard where you can see the meetings you have scheduled. You can also see previous meetings and what you've got going on in your personal meeting room. Over here in the settings, this is where you can do things like start your meetings with your videos on. Make sure your participants' videos are automatically turned on. The audio types that are going to be defaulted, allowing them to join before you, using your personal meeting ID when you're scheduling those as a default, and other settings. This is where you'll need to come in if you're wanting to do anything specialized with your meetings. So let's go in and actually start a meeting, but we're going to do it through the app. So now that we have the meeting scheduled, we're actually going to go down and open up our app. My app's on my other screen, so we're going to bounce over to that. So on here, your app's going to say Zoom Cloud Meetings. You can actually join a meeting directly from here without signing in, or you can sign in. Again, you'll sign in using your information that you already set up the account through. Once you've logged in, you'll have your dashboard on your app. This is about the same dashboard as you'll see on your phone. Note that if you are using your phone to run your meetings, you won't have the same functions as if you're running off of a computer. I highly, highly recommend you run any of your Zoom meetings from your computer. It gives you more control over the meeting. If you're wanting to do, say, a first-time homebuyer seminar where you're going to have multiple people in the room running at any given time, I really highly recommend you use a computer. It allows you to control your participants at a higher level to make sure that you're not having people talk over other people and able to mute people if you need to. So now that we see we have a meeting here, we're actually just going to click Start and we're going to jump into that meeting. Please note that I'm actually using my computer in my office, which means I don't have a mic, a camera. I have speakers. That's all I have connected to that computer. So it's going to notice that I don't have a microphone, and we're going to say, fine, we're going to join with computer audio so that it actually sounds out through my speakers. And then we're going to have my picture. Now, if you want a picture and not just a Zoom logo, you'll have to do that through your settings and through your account. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So on here, you are able to do a couple things when you're joining or hosting a meeting. You can actually control your audio and your video if you have video or audio through any device that you have. You can change your speaker to a lapel mic. You can change your speakers to your computer versus your speakers that you have that are maybe connected to Bluetooth. That all you can do as a normal user. Here, as a host, you can do things like share your screen. That's really important when you're wanting to meet with a client and maybe wanting to go over a purchase contract with them or look at homes with them through Flex. You can do that by just clicking the share screen option down at the bottom, click on it, and it gives you your options. It gives you a couple options, and I'll go through each of them for you so you sort of know what they are. So you'll have your screens. Those are your monitors that you have. If you have multiple monitors, it gives you multiple screen options for you. That will allow them to see everything on your screen, not just one window. There's the whiteboard option. I only recommend using the whiteboard option if you're using a tablet or a phone, or you have a touch screen computer. It's really hard to use the whiteboard function with a mouse. Just trust me, I recommend not using it unless you have that. Then you can see I have multiple windows running in the background. So I could only share one of my Chrome windows. I could only share maybe my email or other things that I have up and running at any given time. So on this, I'm actually only going to share my screen. And so what happens is I decide that I'm only going to share my screen, just the window in which I'm managing my meetings through Zoom. I click share on that. It gives me the option to share just that screen. And if I were to dash that down, I stop or pause my sharing, which means they can't see anything else in the background. This makes it really easy that you're not accidentally sharing private information from maybe one of your other clients or one of your transactions going on with the current client that you're working with. When you're ready to resume it, you just click up at the top. There is a little drop-down window that you have, and you can resume that sharing. Unfortunately, it's really hard to show how the Zoom options happen, as it doesn't show actually my screen. It just shows what I'm sharing. So when you're done sharing, you can just click stop share, and your share is done, and you can continue to have a conversation with your clients. So that's the basics on running a meeting. When you're done running your meeting, you can actually just click end meeting and end meeting for all, and it allows you to shut off your screen. And then it takes you back to your meetings. You can also go into your contacts and add contacts in here. If you're wanting to share or invite someone into a Zoom that's already running, you can do it through here. Other than that, you can start a new meeting. When you do that, it starts it through the personal meeting ID that you automatically get with your free account. You can also click and join a meeting. This allows you to join any meeting that you want as long as you have the meeting ID. When you click that join button, it gives you this option to put in that meeting ID or personal link name and then join, and it allows you to join immediately to that meeting. It may ask you for a password if there's a password associated with that. If you don't have the password, I recommend following the link that they sent you, because the passwords are always embedded into those links. So that's the basics of creating and running a basic Zoom. Let me go into the account settings so that I can sort of show you the options for if you want to do a virtual background, if you want to put a picture on your screen so that when your video is not up. So what you're actually going to do, we're going to do it through the Zoom website. It's a little bit easier that way. We're going to go in and we're going to click on our face up at the top, and you're going to click on your name. That will actually take you into your profile. You can also access it by going to the profile section of your website through Zoom. Here you'll automatically see your personal meeting ID and the personal meeting ID link that's already in existence. Over here is where you'll change your picture. You can change it, delete it, upload it. It'll tell you that all right there. It also allows you to know what type of user you are, whether it's a basic free or a pro paid for version. It gives you the option to upgrade, how many people you can have in a meeting at any given time, what's your date and time, so it knows where you're located, and then your sign-in password as well. So that's where you do all of that. Now, if you're wanting to do a live background, you can definitely do that. So the live backgrounds are a little bit harder to use. And typically when you're needing to upload them, you can do that over in the video section down at the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, so if you're wanting to do a virtual background, the best way to do it is using your Zoom app. So I'm going to share my Zoom app with you. Okay, so once you're in your Zoom app, you'll go in and you'll click Settings down underneath your picture. It will open this window up. Then you'll go down to the virtual background and you can choose a virtual background to use. It may make you download the package. I'm not sure if there's a cost for that, but if you don't want to pay for it, I wouldn't recommend doing that. You, I believe, can also add an image or a video into your background. Now, make sure you've clicked mirror my image so that it looks like you're actually the way it should be in the image rather than a mirror version of that. Also, you want to make sure that if you have green behind you, that you're marking that you have a green screen. There is a common issue if you're using a virtual background that you can disappear into your background if you have any green coloring in your home or in your skin tone, which can make you kind of blend into the virtual background rather than being in front of the virtual background. So make sure you're testing that before you use anything. So that is my mini class on how to use Zoom. Please understand that the best way to use this system is to go in and play with it, as I recommend with any technology. The best way to learn the technology is to go in and use it and break it. And what I would also recommend is maybe partnering up with someone else if you're wanting to do these virtual meetings, and make sure that you have everything run out just like a script and role play that you do every morning with Dan. So go in and play with it. Maybe create a fake one and have a partner, another agent that's willing to do one with you, and you guys trade off so that you can see what it looks like on the other side, and making sure that you're not creating a video or a screen share that doesn't work. Please feel free to reach out to me or anybody on staff if you have any questions, and we'll definitely be there to help you out. Thank you guys so much, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a great day.